everyone, and welcome to the NCB TMB College Spotlight. Today we're spotlighting HACC, Central Pennsylvania's community college, and I'd like to introduce myself, Leena Gupta. I'm the chair of NCB TMB, and with me today is Nina Kotkamp, the director of the massage therapy program at HACC, Louis Schaefer, the chair of Health and Public Service, and Emily Fox, the virtual learning admissions recruiter. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. I'm so glad that you are able to join us today to be able to present this innovative topic of the associates in health sciences and how that relates to board certification. So on today's agenda, we'll be discussing the value of board certification in advancing our profession. We'll be talking about HACC's massage therapy program in detail and their associates in the health science degree, how these credits are awarded to current board certificates, how to determine if online courses are right for you, and lots of tips for a smooth application process, as well as the next steps to contact HACC. I've already had some personal questions, and I know that this is a very key topic that many people in our profession and those of you listening are interested to hear about in terms of achieving an associate's degree in health sciences. So Nina, I know that we've talked many times about the value of board certification, and that's one part that has really led to the board certification being equivalent to 30 credits in the degree program. And basically, this movement towards board certification is all about creating a career path for massage therapists.
That is correct, Lena.
And you've done such a wonderful job in taking that a step further with the associates in health sciences. So in terms of our purpose and value of certification, that career path starts with a person going to school, graduating, gaining their entry-level licensure, moving up to board certification, and then today we're going to talk about how that translates into the health science degree. And I'm going to pass it over now to Lois Schaefer to talk about the details of the degree program.
Thank you, Lena. Welcome, attendees. I want to talk to you a little bit about our health science program. HACC has recognized the value of board certification, and we want to help people become certified after the fact. We want to get you to have your board certification, and then we will give you 30 credits towards your associate's degree here at HACC. And they come in as one group of block credits. What you would need to do is that you would need to send us your board certification, and or we can verify that online. And then we ask for a current letter of employment. So you need to be currently employed in the field. We can take that from your employer, and if you are owning your own massage therapy business, we'd be happy to accept a letter from you with your letterhead and your business card. At that point, we would process those 30 credits into our associate degree program. We have 4 options for you. Our most popular is our management and marketing option. We find that many of the massage therapy students currently in the program moving towards the associate degree are interested in that because it helps them if they want to start their own business, and even in their current practice to be able to help them to understand more about management and marketing options out in the field. Social services is another area that we see students interested in. If you're dealing with clients who have social service background type in things where they've had issues with drug and alcohol and those types of things, we have students who will want to take those types of courses. Information technology is the least active for our massage therapy graduates. That is the one, if you're interested in information technology and those types of classes such as computer information sciences, you could take those classes. We do have some students who take our gerontology option, and with that one, you can take any of the gerontology electives that we have. Those would be good for people who are working in long-term care facilities, and in wellness centers dealing primarily with geriatric patients. We also have the ability for you to transfer 15 additional credits from any other academic institution that would count towards your general elective credits.
Thank you, Lois. That's very informative, especially in the 4 options. Let's move along now to some more details.
Sure. Once you earn your associate degree in the health sciences from HACC, we have a transfer option for you with Siena Heights, where you can receive your BAS in massage therapy. We also have the management marketing, which I spoke of earlier, which helps you with learning to run your own practice. And it also helps you to prepare if you want to become a supervisor in a larger organization. The degree is also helpful because we want you to be able to have a career ladder for people in massage therapy. So once you receive your board certification, you can come to HACC. Next step is the associate degree, and then next step from there would be your bachelor's degree.
So Lois, I'm just wondering, when a person goes through the process and decides to pursue a health science degree, if they're not really sure which of these 4 options they might want to go through, is there some assistance or guidance that you can offer?
There certainly is. Once you determine that you want to be in our health science degree program, and we verify your credentials and receive your letter, we will set you up with an advisor, and we'll also set you up with our recruiter, Emily Fox, who you'll hear from shortly. And that person will be your contact throughout the beginning, your first start, until the time that you graduate. They will assist you with selecting classes. They will assist you with career guidance if you need that. If you want the marketing management and then decide you want to switch to IT, will some of those classes transfer? And yes, we have free electives for you that you can take to make that happen. They will also assist you with any kind of information you want about transferability. Certainly Siena Heights is our most popular transfer because it is the BAS in massage therapy. However, we do have students who may want to transfer to another academic institution, and they will assist you with gaining the information about how those credits transfer.
That's really fantastic. So it's not really just the 4 options. There are many more options along the path and for the future as well, which we will be discussing, and Nina and I will be discussing that a little bit more towards the end of this piece. So now let's hear from Nina, the program director, on details about the massage therapy program at HACC.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our 900-hour program here at HACC for the massage therapy student exceeds the NCB TMB's minimal educational requirements. And of course, we are NCB TMB approved, and our program has been thoroughly reviewed by the organization and has met the high caliber level of education that is required in our industry. As many of you know, we are here in Pennsylvania, and in Pennsylvania, you are required to sit for the state licensing exam, as many of the states across the United States require. And we have, our students coming out of our program have a 99.5% pass rate for the MBLEX exam. And here in Pennsylvania, that average state pass rate is 72%. So we're very proud of that percentage. Our educational approach here within our massage therapy program is an integrative therapeutic approach. And as you may be well aware, massage therapy is being mainstreamed into integrative medicine on a regular basis. And we have positioned ourselves here at HACC to be pioneers and forerunners in that shift. We also have an on-site studio where all of our students participate in a clinical experience as part of their program, which consists of 115 hours. So they're very skilled when they go into the field. And while I am already speaking to licensed massage therapists in the industry, I would hope that you would keep us in mind for anyone who's looking for an educational future in massage therapy.
That's fantastic, Nina. Now we're on to a question that I get quite often in terms of how do we actually award the 30 credits from the board certification in therapeutic massage and bodywork into the degree program itself. So Lois, can you explain that a little bit further?
Sure. Typically, the student will contact us via email or phone, and we will work with them to determine if they are currently board certified. Once we determine that they are board certified, we will take that credential and we will ask them for the letter from their employer. When we realize that they are currently working in the field, we will then process paperwork to our records office, which will identify them as being able to receive the 30 credits. Those 30 credits show right up on your transcript. So you will see 61 credits at the top as the degree requirement, and you will see 30 credits already met, which is a huge undertaking for you, because then you get to have these additional credits that you don't have to spend money on, because HACC is very committed to recognizing your board certification and the value of that.
That's very exciting. And then in terms of the online courses, Emily, it's another hot topic that people ask lots of questions about. So can you share with us a little bit more detail there?
Yes, thank you, Lena, and thank you everyone for attending the webinar today. Our Health Science Associate degree is available fully online, and online learning really is growing in popularity. And one of the biggest reasons I think that it's growing in popularity is because of the flexibility. So that pursuing education is now feasible for individuals who are juggling many responsibilities in life, whether it's working or kids or travel, deployment, you name it. We have busy lives, but online learning allows that to fit into your schedule if you cannot make it on a campus. One of the ways that it's flexible is with the location. We have had students from across the country and world participate in HACC online courses. Last semester, we had a student from Egypt taking online courses here at HACC. And I know I've spoken to a number of students who are interested in this program who have been from Florida and California, Louisiana, Delaware, and many other places. So that's one of the great things about technology, that it really can be done essentially from anywhere. Another way that it's flexible is the when part of it. You know, completing the coursework can essentially be done when you want. That's a huge plus. At HACC here, we have a semester that the online courses follow, and the instructor provides a syllabus at the beginning of the semester, which lists assignments and due dates throughout the semester. So the coursework can be completed when you want, as long as you're meeting the deadlines. I know some professors, they open what we call modules, which is the coursework. Some professors open it weekly, other professors open the course material for the whole semester. Going along with that, the method for completing the course also varies from professor to professor and from subject to subject. But some common tools that I've seen professors utilize in their courses include discussion posts, using PowerPoint slides, textbook readings. I know some of our professors utilize YouTube videos or TED Talk videos. So there's many different ways to go about completing an online course, and just know that going into your course that every course can be different. A great way to get a feel for what it's like to take an online course at HACC is to check out our sample online course. And if you go to our webpage, hacc.edu/virtual, you can check out what it's like to go into our learning management system, which is a web page that students go into to access his or her course. Here at HACC, we use a learning management system called Brightspace by Desire to Learn, which is similar to Blackboard or Moodle, if you've heard of some of those other systems out there. Another great resource for you to check out on our webpage is a 20-question self-assessment, which asks true or false questions, and you answer that, and it gives you a response based off of what you answer. An example from our self-assessment quiz, there's a question that asks, I tend to plan ahead and complete tasks early rather than waiting until the last minute. If you click true, great, nothing happens. If you click false, a yellow box pops up with a tip that says, while there's a good bit of flexibility in how and when you complete coursework, you must take the initiative to log into your class and complete coursework by the due date. If you're a procrastinator and cannot overcome this habit, an online course may not be for you. So the 20-question self-assessment quiz gives some tips along the way. Also, while I'm talking about resources, I do want you to know current students here at HACC have many resources available as well when you're actually a student here. I'll highlight a few of the resources. Please know there are many, many resources available to you. Also, if you do live close to one of our HACC campuses in central Pennsylvania, in Gettysburg, Harrisburg, Lancaster, Lebanon, or York, you can use any of the resources on campus, but we do also have some resources very specific to virtual learning students as well. An example, we have tutoring through a company called Smart Thinking, and it's available 24/7, so you can access that at any point. Also career services, where you can receive assistance with resume writing and mock interviews. Clubs is another resource. We have a club that's called Virtual Learning Student Advisory Council, which is essentially the Student Government Association of virtual learning, and also the Student Resource Center and Lounge, which is a place that students can go to ask questions and communicate with each other within Bright Space by Desire to Learn.
That's very comprehensive, Emily, and what I really love about what you said is the assessment to know whether an online course is really for you, because I think some of us, we don't really have a method, and with online training becoming so prevalent now, and with the busy lives that you already mentioned, it's wonderful to get some feedback between our behaviors and learning style and preferences, as well as how to really make that successful. I would like to remind the audience that at the end of our initial presentation, we have some pre-submitted questions that we'll be asking, and then we also encourage you to send in live questions, and we'll have our team here address those as we go through the webinar. So thank you for that, Emily. And then another hot topic here is the actual admissions process, which everybody wants to know about. So I'd love to hear what you have to say there.
Sure, I'm happy to share. I'll go through the admission process here on this slide, but please know attached to this presentation are some handouts which review this material and go into further detail, so you can refer to those handouts as well. So the first step to the admission process is filling out an application. It's free to fill out the application, and it can be done online at hacc.edu. From there, we do encourage all students to look into financial aid options, and the first step is by filling out the FAFSA, which stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. That can be done at fafsa.gov. If you do have prior college credit, you'll want to contact your previously attended institution or institutions to have your official transcript sent to our HACC record office, and you can transfer up to 15 credits from another institution. From there, our students in health science admission process will want to have their credentials verified by Michael Torrey. He's our health career recruiter here at HACC, and also have an employment verification letter mailed to HACC. From there, our students schedule and take placement tests. Placement test is in the areas of math, reading, and writing. It's an untimed test, but it usually takes our students about 2 to 2.5 hours to go through that. It's not pass or fail. Rather, the placement test is to determine what will be the best class for you to start at as a student. And there is a lot of placement test review material on our webpage as well. Placement tests can occur online or on a campus. After placement testing, then our students go through new student orientation, which reviews helpful information and resources for students to be successful. That can be done on campus or online as well. And after the new student orientation, then our students sit down with an advisor and register for courses. Of course, many of you are from a distance, so you can speak to them on the phone or through email. Health science students here at HACC will be working with Deb Redmond to register for courses.
Thank you, Emily.
Sure.
And now if you could lead us through the term time frame so people listening and those who will hear the recorded webinar afterwards can really plan into their life when is the best time to enroll in the program.
Sure. So HACC is an open rolling admission college, meaning that you can apply to HACC at any time. HACC has 4 different semesters. We have fall, spring, summer 1, and summer 2. To give you a general time frame or for when those semesters run, fall is August through December, spring, January through May, summer 1, May through August, and summer 2, June or July through August. The start for the fall semester is right around the corner. The majority of courses begin on August 24th or September 8th. You can still register for the fall, however, you will want to act quickly if you're hoping to get into the fall semester. If you don't get into the fall, then the next time to enroll would be the next semester, which starts in January.
So Emily, I have a question there about summer 1 and summer 2. You mentioned that summer 1 is May to August and summer 1 is later, June or July to August. So that seems a person would either be in summer 1 or summer 2. They wouldn't be or would they be taking some courses in summer 1 for the whole summer and then maybe an additional course in summer 2, an accelerated version?
What's unique about our summer courses is, yes, they're often accelerated. They can be 6 weeks, 10 weeks, or 8 weeks, 12 weeks. So different variations of how long the class lasts. So obviously, if you're taking a summer course, you want to make sure you're setting aside more time to work on that coursework throughout the week.
Oh, definitely, especially if it's a 6-week course.
Yes, absolutely.
Over the summer. And then I would say all these questions are so relevant, and we all want to know how much everything costs these days. So can you let us know a little bit more about how the tuition fees run?
Yes, that's always a popular question. Well, here at HACC, we really do pride ourselves in providing the quality education, but yet affordable to our students. So for the 2015-2016 academic school year, the tuition is $298 per credit if you're an out-of-state student, or $250 per credit if you're in-state. And most courses are 3 credits, just to give you a feel for what most courses are. And also, I will mention that HACC, our online courses, you can take it essentially from anywhere, except we do have 3 states that students are not able to reside there and take online courses at HACC currently. That may change down the road. So if you do reside in Arkansas, Massachusetts, or Minnesota, please continue to check back at our webpage as that can change. However, students residing there now are not able to take online classes through us.
That's great, Emily. And now, Lois, you're going to speak to the board certification and HACC.
Sure. I'd like to talk to you for a couple minutes about our process and the savings that you could have by coming to HACC. Since we offer you the 30 credits and you don't have to pay anything for them, you can see the savings below. I don't want to go through that. You can read that on your own. But I do want to tell you that you can take as little as 3 credits or as much as full-time, 15 credits. So if you wanted to come back full-time and take 15 credits in 1 semester, you could finish, being that you needed to take, if you had transfer credits coming in. If not, you could finish this in 1 full year. If you wanted to come back and take 15 credits and 16 credits, you could finish that off very quickly in 1 year. You could also check with your employer. We're finding that more and more employers are offering tuition reimbursement for students in this program because they recognize the benefit of this for their massage therapists. So that's something you might want to look into and think about.
So you didn't actually mention the numbers, but Lois, I'm asked about money all the time. So I just want to check my understanding here that if you take the 30 credits, you would be saving $8,940 if you're out of state.
The student automatically would save that because they wouldn't have to take their 30 credits,
Mm-hmm.
and we give those to the students for free, recognizing their credentials.
So basically, board certification saves someone outside of Pennsylvania, not including the 3 states that Emily mentioned, almost $9,000. And then if you're in Pennsylvania, you have a saving of $7,500. Well, that's really fantastic. I mean, that adds tremendous value to ensuring that all massage therapists are board certified. So now we have a couple of comparisons here that will really help us understand a couple of scenarios. Would you like to take us through that, Lois?
I'd be happy to. The student on the left already has college credits from another institution. We transfer those in for free as well. So not only would you get the 30 credits awarded for your board certification, but you also obtain 15 additional credits should you have them in the appropriate classes, such as English and communication. Those are the type of classes, and we can talk to you individually, and your advisor would help you with that as you move through the process. And then you would just need to take the 16 credits at HACC. The student on the right has no previous college credit, and therefore they would need to take 31 credits in the program after the 30 credits are awarded.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, Lois. And now, it's this evolution of board certification and transitioning it towards degree programs is not just that what we're discussing today in terms of the 30 credits that board certification carries into the associate's degree program, but Lena, I know we've also talked about your personal experience in terms of transitioning into the Siena Heights bachelor's degree program. Can you share with us a little bit about your experience?
Absolutely, Lena. Actually, I am a poster child for this process. I actually have my associates in health science here at HACC, and I applied to Siena Heights, obviously using my board certification in both applications, not only here at HACC, but at Siena Heights. And Siena Heights was a very seamless, easy process. And because I also had some previous college education from another institution, I was ultimately awarded 90 credit hours at Siena Heights. So the first step is to get your associates here at HACC, and you can also talk to Siena Heights. You may continue to take additional courses here at HACC up to 90 credits, since Siena Heights will receive 90 credits towards that bachelor's. And for us to have a bachelor's in massage therapy speaks to the credentialing and the continued educational process that we in the industry have continued to go through.
That's really fantastic. So it's not only that you're bringing this innovation to HACC, but you're embodying the whole process.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm not currently aware of anyone who has this exact pathway. So you certainly are the poster child, Nina. And thank you for so much for sharing that process. Now we're going to move into the pre-submitted questions. And the first one is from John. And John says, what are the minimal requirements to apply for the HACC degree program? That sounds like a question for you, Emily.
That does sound like a question for me. John, what I would recommend doing, I did go through the admission steps earlier. There is a handout that's attached to this PowerPoint slide. So I would encourage you to check out the handout, which goes through the admission steps. The first step is to apply online at hacc.edu. But a requirement specific to the health science degree is to have your credentials verified by Michael Turi, our health career recruiter here at HACC, and also having your employment verification letter sent to us here at HACC.
Thank you. Our next question is from Charlene, and Charlene says, are courses taken at our own pace, or do you complete courses in assigned semesters? And I know that you already shared with us, Emily, but it would be good to hear again what's the answer to that question.
Sure. So in a semester, each course has deadlines and due dates according to the syllabus provided by the instructor. But from semester to semester, students may take however many courses he or she would like. So one student may go part-time and take one course per semester, and another student may take 4 courses per semester. You do have to make sure that you're meeting the prerequisites for the courses that you're hoping to take. But really, the schedule is unique to you and your needs, and you'll discuss your semester and the classes that you're taking further when you would meet with Deb Redmond to register for courses. I will also note along with this that there is not a time limit for completing the degree. So although I'm sure many students do not prefer to drag it out, there's not a deadline for completing the course.
Well, that's really wonderful because, you know, many of us have responsibilities with our children as well as juggling home life, work life, volunteer life, and so that flexibility makes it even more attractive as a degree program to choose. Our next question is from Anastasia, and Anastasia asks, what kind of jobs can I apply for once I earn my associate's in health science degree? So Nina, what do you have that you can contribute here in terms of after completion of the degree program?
Hello, Anastasia. I believe that continued education in our industry is key. And as the industry continues to grow, which as you know is predicted to grow another 20% over the next 10 years, there will continue to be more opportunities in management and marketing within our industry, as well as this may be your first step into entertaining education because the industry continues to grow. We need educators like myself. And, you know, as you know, there's a lot of huge companies now entering our industry who are looking for professionals in recruiting, in marketing and management, and in sales. So there are so many opportunities once you have higher education to build up your resume and to present in a different way. So I strongly support your growth, and I'm sure that you will see that it will benefit you through the process.
That's really wonderful. Our next question is from Nicole. And Nicole asks, I already have a BA degree. Am I able to receive or apply any credits from my BA towards this associate's degree in health science? Lois, how would that really work?
That would work that you would send your transcripts to our registrar's office and they would be evaluated. Any courses that could be transferred would definitely be transferred. The Englishes, communications, and those types of courses, social science would also transfer. And what we would do with that is we would allow you to bring those credits right into HACC and award you the 30 credits for your credential, and then you would take whatever courses are remaining. The BA, if your BA is primarily in the arts, then this would help you from the science perspective because you may not have taken any courses in accounting or marketing, and that would help you in your profession as you grow, especially if you wanted to start your own practice.
Great. And our next pre-submitted question is, can you share some ways that board-certified massage therapists set themselves apart from others in the field? So really, board certification parallels the pathway that we see in allied health as well as medical professions. For example, if a person was a medical student, they would first take the 4 years of training, and then be eligible for licensure, and then do advanced training in the residency or the fellowship program and be eligible for board certification. So in our case, in the massage therapy field, we're really modeling the cornerstones that we know already exist in other allied health and medical professions so that we can not only elevate our standards, but also be accepted and integrated into those arenas. And there's a lot of movement both on the sides of health and wellness practitioners as well as on the sides of medical institutions to bring this into reality and the forefront of changes within medicine. And then some examples in terms of employers who will only hire board certified massage therapists. Mayo Clinic has a stipulation that they only hire a board certified massage therapist. Google only hire board certified massage therapists. I've had dialogues with key stakeholders in the spa industry who are looking to make that their standard of entry for people to work either as the lead therapist or maybe even in their entire global institution. So things are rapidly changing. Board certification was only introduced 2 years ago and has really changed the landscape of massage therapy so that it can facilitate massage therapists gaining an associate's degree, gaining a bachelor's degree, or being a preferred candidate for employment in very key institutions that we all know, as I mentioned, like Google, for example. So it's not simply healthcare, it's many industries altogether. Our next question is from Scott, and he was asking about the accreditation for HACC. Lois, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. HACC is accredited by the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. It's the highest level of accreditation that an academic institution can achieve. And this is going to be important for you as students as you're seeking whether you decide to come to HACC or somewhere else. You want to make sure that you're looking at the accreditation of your institution because that does affect transferability of courses.
Thank you. And our last pre-submitted question, and then I see lots of live questions coming in, is from Sam. And Sam asks, once I achieve the associate's degree of 61 credits, will those credits be transferable? Lois?
Courses will transfer to accredited institutions such as the Middle States that I discussed. There are some courses such as the block transfer. Siena Heights takes all of those classes, and there may be other schools that will do that. You may have to work with your institution to determine if they will accept those 30 credits. So it is going to be important that you check with your academic institution before you do that. However, we will assist you with that, and we will work with many of the schools to provide articulation agreements.
Wonderful. Now it's time for our live Q&A session. So our first live question is from Meredith, and she asks, is there a time limit for being accepted by HACC and or completing the degree once we have started the health science program? And I think you already touched on that, Emily, but perhaps you can reiterate.
Sure, there is not a time limit. Many students are hoping to get through the program quickly, but there is not a time limit for completing it.
Okay, and our next question is from Laurie. If we went through the admission process and stopped at the placement test last year, do we need to resubmit transcripts? Lois?
No, you do not need to resubmit transcripts. Your transcripts should be on file here, and we can get you in touch with Deb Redmond, who can start to walk you through the process of selecting classes.
That's wonderful because it always takes time to get those original transcripts from one institution to another. Emily, do you have something to add there?
Yes, I just wanted to mention on the handout, Deb Redmond's contact information is listed on there, so that's how you can know how to reach out to her.
Great. Our next live question is from Victoria, and she says, I have additional post-secondary credits from a Canadian university. How are international credits or training transferred? Lois?
You would need to go to the World Education Services International website, and we can get you in touch with them. They will evaluate your credits for transfer. And then once they do that and we see what transfers in, we'd be happy to work with you since you're board certified to receive the 30 credits here.
Great. Our next live question is from Sarah, and she says, is it too late to enroll in the fall semester? Emily?
It's not too late to enroll. Fall semester, the majority of classes start on either August 24th or September 8th. However, if you are hoping to start this semester, I would act quickly and start the admission process immediately.
Thank you, Emily. And from Jennifer, she asked, how would a physical education course be completed online?
We do have online physical education courses, and they're set up with the faculty member there, and there's different assignments to complete, and we work with you through that. We do have physical education courses that are very successful at that. We use the Fitbit and things like that
Oh,
help with
really?
that.
Wow. That's become another great revolution, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Our next question is from Tracy, and she says, is it possible to start the process while transitioning from national certification to board certification? So I could probably speak to the transition part, and then we'll open it up to the group. So for those listening, and I'm sure some of you are transitioning from national certification to board certification, that process is, when we had national certification, it was an entry-level requirement of 500 hours. We elevated that to 750 hours, which can be accredited college courses that you've taken in the past, continuing education that you may have taken in the 4-year cycle to renew national certification, or any other education that we can verify, and that would make the 750 hours. You also have to maintain CPR certification, have acquired 250 hours in practice, and then you would be able to transition to board certification without taking the exam. So that gives us a little bit of a background. And then, Lois, perhaps you could speak to it from the college side.
Sure. We would love to have you apply, become accepted, and start classes while you're in transition. We won't, however, award the 30 credits to you, those 30 block credits, until we have the proof of your certification. And the other thing I do want to mention is that you would not be able to graduate until we did have that. So keep that in mind.
Fairly logical.
Yeah. Just in case, you never know.
At 30 credits, it's really half the degree, isn't it? So I'm sure the verification process is a critical part to awarding a degree. Our next live question is from Laurie. Is there a minimum score on the placement test that needs to be established to be accepted into the program? Emily?
Sure. There is not a particular score that you would need to place with the placement test. It's not pass or fail. Really, it's just to determine what course or courses you would be starting at here at HACC.
We have another question from Meredith. What happens if your board certification expires before your degree is completed? And I guess I have to start with this one, that never let your board certification go, because it's the first step in advancing our profession, and all of these new things that have come on in the last 2 years, which is the board certification, the Associates in Health Sciences, and the Siena Heights University, is something that is just the beginning of our advancing the educational standards. And as I see the vision for our future, we will continue to roll out more certifications and specialties. So who would like to just add on to that in terms of the board certification?
Well, we'd like to know that you are continuing to maintain your credential throughout the process. We may or may not verify that at some given time, but once the 30 credits are awarded, we typically don't pull that back unless there's some question or concern.
Thank you, Lois. Oh, Nina, you'd like to share a little bit more?
Yes, I'd like to add, as you all are aware, your board certification has an expiration date on it. And when we verify your board certification, you know, at the time, if you're within a month or so of not renewing, I think we could edit or audit that board certification. Ultimately, we are awarding the accreditation that you have obtained through NCB TMB as being the highest standard in our industry. And so I know that you would continue that board certification to support your associates in health science so that not only you as a therapist are highly qualified, but you have a very well-rounded, built-out resume going forward.
Thank you, Nina. Jacqueline asks, what about credits from military training courses? Are those transferable? Who would like to jump in on that one?
We have some courses that could be. For example, you would automatically be given credit for physical education and those types of things. It would depend on whether they're recognized by your regional accreditation from where you took those classes. So that's a case-by-case basis, and we would have you work with Deb Redmond on that.
Excellent. Stephanie asks, do you recognize transcripts from massage therapy schools? And if so, can the transcripts come from the student if the school is now closed?
It's not about where you went or whether or not you graduated from a school. It's about the credential that you hold. Since that's the highest form of professional responsibility, we accept that as your 30 credits. So it doesn't matter where you went, if your school closed or any of that, we're not going to ask. We would like to see transcripts, certainly, if that's the only thing you have. But if we can get a letter saying that the school closed and we have your credential and your current employment letter, that will suffice for us for the 30 credits.
And we do have a system where we can verify that. So for those listening, and I myself graduated from a school that closed, and I worked in a corporate school that closed down, unfortunately. So I know that how it can be a concern or an issue. But in this process, it really isn't a concern as long as you keep your board certification active. Nina?
I would like to just add, if you did attend a community college and you have an associate's in massage therapy and you are looking to transfer credits in, like the general education credits, again, the transcript would be evaluated as well as your board certification.
I think in this case, well, and Nina, wouldn't that be the case for anyone with an associate's degree who's carrying the Gen Ed? So everybody who has taken the core Gen Ed classes would be able to transfer those in up to 15 credits.
Yeah, it's the same as having the bachelor's in art from the person who asked the question earlier in the webinar.
Yes, absolutely. So you've made so many different pathways that it seems there's no question or obstacle that cannot be overcome here at HACC, Central Pennsylvania's Community College. So a couple more live questions from Jody. Will any continuing education credits be transferable in addition to previous college courses?
No. No, continuing education such as going to seminars and things like that?
Yes, I could probably fill in a little bit there. For example, we have over 2,000 approved providers who are offering continuing education around the country. That continuing education is used for licensure renewal, or it can go into board certification, but it's of course not the same as taking an accredited college course.
Correct. And we are giving, and we do offer those types of courses here at HACC, but we do not give credit for those because we are giving you the 30 credits because of the credential that you hold.
And from Jennifer, on average, how much time is required for each 3-credit course, both in class and out of class? Which is really an excellent question.
So I can take that one. This is Emily. There's no exact number of hours that you'll need to study, but as a general rule of thumb, we recommend 135 hours per each 3-credit course. So depending on if it's a quick class over the summer, a 6-week class, or whether it's longer than that, that can determine how many hours you may be putting towards the course. So typically it's anywhere from 9 to 20 hours that you're putting towards a course.
9 to
Per
20
week.
hours
I'm sorry,
a week?
per week. Yes,
Yes,
that's a key. Not per
trying to
semester,
check.
but per week.
Okay.
9 to 20 hours per week.
So is that in coursework and homework, the 9 to 20 hours?
Right,
basically?
correct.
Yeah, and that's quite a broad range.
Well, and it's a broad range because it really depends on how long the semester is. Whether it's a 6-week course, that's when you may be putting more 20 hours towards the
Oh.
course each week. Whereas a fall semester that's 14 weeks, it may be more like 9 hours a week.
I thought you meant that it's those people who either do double homework or those who are slower with their assignments. I know for sure when I did my MBA online and we were told it was 12 hours a week, but I spent like double doing that because I didn't have a bachelor's in business. So I imagine it can vary student to student as well.
Yes, it can.
Yes, just as we are all individuals. So our next live question is from Cynthia. How are classes that are not available online completed if you live out of the state?
Where the health science degree is going to be offered totally online in the spring. It's offered all except for one class at this point. And so the students will be able to take all the classes online. They may not be offered every semester, so we need to be careful with scheduling and work with Deb Redman, your advisor, about that. It's really about careful selection from the very beginning for which courses are offered, because you wouldn't want to get to the end in the spring semester and find out that that course isn't offered till the fall.
Now we have a couple of questions from Amanda, who's trying to fill out the online application right now while
good job.
while we're on the webinar, which is fantastic. And here is what Amanda has to say. Her first question is, I'm trying to fill out the online application and there's no option for health science as a degree. Am I missing something? Emily?
Yes, there should be a pre-health science selection that she can select. But kudos to you, multitasking and getting right on it. Good job.
Right, you're considered pre before we accept your credential and give you the 30 credits. Then you're actually considered in the health science degree program.
Okay, so Amanda, look out for the pre-health science option on the application part of the website. And then Amanda has another question. So she is really right on top of this whole process. And she says, I am a military dependent. Would I qualify for in-state tuition even though I'm located out of the state?
Our VA office, we have an Office of Veterans Affairs, and I'm sure they'd be happy to work with you. I don't honestly know that answer right off the top of my head. Yes, you think they would?
Yes, that was actually a new, I'm not sure, law or whatever you want to refer to it as, that passed that all military individuals across the country can receive in-state credit. So, but I would also piggyback on what Lewis was saying by reaching out to our Military and Veterans Affairs office.
And we can provide you that contact information.
So there we are. We've got one live enrollment as we do the webinar. So changing the landscape of massage therapy, one enrollment at a time. And then we have a question from Jacqueline. Can you begin the process if you are still waiting for foreign credits to be evaluated? Lois, would you like to address that?
Yes, but you might have trouble selecting courses because we don't know if the prereqs are, if we have prerequisites on courses and we don't know if your English, for example, or your communication has transferred in, and there perhaps could be a prerequisite on that, we wouldn't know best way to advise you. We might be able to advise you to a course that does not have any prerequisites.
Yes, well, you know, having been through this process myself, I would actually say to any foreign graduates listening that you need to complete that credentialing process and then present all the documentation to the college in one go so that you get the maximum either transferable credits or you might find that you can get more transfer than you expect if you don't have the report in hand. But the process, the application process can start straight away. It's just the sort of marrying up of the courses you've taken in the past versus the courses that would be required for the degree. So I encourage you to do both. I did it myself when I enrolled in the master's program, and I wish you all the very best with that. Then we have another question from Jennifer. Do Gen Ed courses have to be taken before you can begin the 12 credits in marketing / management, or can course be taken in any order?
Courses can be taken in any order as long as there's, again, I'll go back to that prerequisite thing, as long as there's not a prerequisite on the course. So yes, any course that you want to take, because we find that students feel more comfortable if they can start right in with a management marketing course and then take an English with it.
That's great. Well, we've covered a number of pre-submitted questions and a number of live questions too. I see we're coming up to the hour, and so I'd like to tell the audience that we have a webinar playback which will be available August 14th. There are a couple of links that you can click to access those webinars, both on the ncbtmb.org/webinar link as well as ncbtmb.org/blog. So I've certainly learned a lot about this process from all of you. I'd really like to thank Nina, Emily, and Lois for giving up their time to be able to educate me and the many, many people who are listening as well, and those who will listen to the recording over the next few days or weeks. And as we draw to a close, I'd like to share with the audience that you can contact NCBTMB and email us at info@ncbtmb.org or call us on a toll-free number 1-800-296-0664. And we also have a live chat feature to help you out in any and every way possible. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening and for all your wonderful questions. Have a wonderful day and a very successful